Let me make sure this is going. I think what happened is it freezes every once in a while, and then we panic because we can't hear each other, and the screen is just frozen. So you were sitting there just looking handsome, and I kept saying, "Are you here? Can you hear me?"
Oh, you could hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear any sound, and then like it just froze on like your face.
Yeah, the beautiful face that I have.
Been talking.
So did you get the observation notes?
I did, thank you. And I did make some notes. I went ahead and I just like made a little handwritten notes to your 4 questions that you answered. And then right when you were calling me, I was working on my reflection. So I should have that done in maybe the next hour or so. I'll finish it up and I'll send it to you.
Okay, well, why don't I tell you what I saw that was good besides just the positive things that I said down there at the bottom?
Okay.
I like the way you move around your classroom. Absolutely. You go to everybody. How many students did you have that day? Did I count 14?
I think I had... Well, I normally have 16, but I think maybe 1 was absent.
Okay, and maybe 1 was off. There were a couple of students that were off screen. I could hear them speak, but I couldn't see them, and that's okay. I was wondering, how did you come up with the idea? That was just amazing.
Of the symbiotic relationships?
Yeah.
Well, I do not take credit with the assignment at all. I found it online.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was just researching like ecosystem projects, because one of the standards is like how organisms interact with each other, and then like you can cover mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. So then I was just researching symbiotic relationship projects, and then that one came up, and it gave me a list of like all of the different. It gave me like 30 different examples that I could have the kids choose from. And I didn't know if I would let the kids pick or whatever, but I just thought it'd be a lot easier if I put in a beaker and they pick randomly. So it was my first time doing that, and it went pretty successful, so I like that. So I don't take any credit with that. I did not come up with it. I'm not that creative. I'm creative, but yes, that was, I found it online.
That was pretty awesome. You gave me a little bit of a start because all of my beakers are glass, and when you dropped it, I was expecting to hear a crash, and all I heard was bounce, bounce. And I was going, oh, it's a plastic beaker.
Yeah, that's funny. That was the class period that I dropped the beaker, and then all of the 26 slips went flying everywhere, and I'm like, oh, great. So, yeah, but that's why I use plastic beakers. And all first semester, whenever we had to make chemistry, I only let the kids use plastic beakers. I did not let them use glass beakers because they would probably crack them, and glassware would go everywhere. So,
yeah.
Luckily, I have my classroom this year. I have a lot of equipment. I have like tons of glass beakers, plastic beakers, so I have a lot. So.
Well, now you teach at a junior high school, and you have one of those. I'm looking now. I haven't seen this view of your. What do they call that? It's not.
Hood?
Yeah, I was going.
Yeah, this
dang.
is my cube hood, and then if you look like all around here, I have all of it down. I can just show you it. So I have like all my glassware right here, and then I even have like more glassware on this side. I have a lot of equipment, and it's drawers. Luckily, I inherited this classroom this year. There was a science teacher who retired, and he was for 5 years, so I inherited all his equipment.
Sweet.
And he didn't take it. He told me I could have everything, so I got all of the good stuff. So I have one of the best science classrooms.
This is Lizzie, and she feels like I need to give her attention, and I'm not going to.
Is that your puppy?
Yes, that's my puppy. She is 7 months old.
She's not really a puppy anymore.
No, she's a big dog, except for she thinks she belongs in my lap, and she doesn't. So.
That's what you said. Well, you always say puppy, but I've never seen a picture or video of her, and I was just picturing like a smaller.
No, she grew quite large. Fast.
Didn't you think she's a Labrador, though? A Labrapoodle?
She's a Labradoodle that looks like a setter, an Irish terrier of some sort. I don't know how that happened.
Wired hair or something.
Yeah. Instead of curling like Labradoodles usually do, she just went curly out. It's not attached to. I mean, it's on her skin, but it's like you know those hairdos that people wear that with spike. She spikes
the
out.
mohawk or the mohawk?
Instead of curling, she spikes out. And
Oh,
it's
gosh.
crazy hair. Oh, well. I like the way that you responded to your students, too. As soon as you saw that they were having a little bit of trouble or they raised their hand, you went right on over. And I like the respect your students had for you. That says a lot about how you teach. So, how did the projects go? I'm assuming they're all turned in and you've graded them.
Yes, I graded all the ones that were turned in, but they're not all turned in. So that's one little difficulty I ran into. The projects that were turned in, I averaged up all my class periods. It averaged around like 9.5 to 9.6.
Oh, good.
Which was out of 10, which they had all the requirements because in class for those 2 days that we were working on them, I made sure like going around making sure that they had all of the the requirements that they needed for the rubric. So I was on top of them for that. But the thing is, I was missing like 3 to 4 assignments per class. So I'm missing a total of at least 25 assignments.
Wow.
And I talked to those students last week, either on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, and I was asking them like, "Oh, I never received a project from you. Did you submit it?" With a lot of people, they could either do a PowerPoint or a Prezi or a poster, so I didn't know if they sent it to me, but the wrong one. A couple of them sent it to like the whole class instead of myself, just because they didn't know how to like my name and not like my period class. But then there were other ones. Most of them said, "Oh yeah, they're still working on it." And I said, "Well, do you need clarification? Do you understand what they're doing?" And they said, "Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I just need more time." So, and here it is Tuesday. I haven't asked them again.
And
so.
they were due last when?
They were due on, I believe it was Tuesday.
Yeah, so it's been a week. Okay, well, you know what? Sometimes that happens especially if it's the first time doing something online and turning it in.
Right. And that's what I noticed, because last year I did they did a PowerPoint or like a Google Slides, and I received most of them, but I remember there was like 5 or 6 per class that I didn't receive. And I was thinking, is it not that I'm giving enough time? But a lot of the students, like half of them finished within those 2 days. So most of them finished in class, whereas the other ones, they just maybe had 10 minutes of homework to finish it. So I don't know. But I did write that in my reflection. And I do give my students 4 late homework passes a quarter so they can make up the homework if they turn in with a late homework pass. So they said they'll turn in with a late homework pass, but here it is Tuesday, and I still, like I said, 5 in every class.
Yeah. How often do you give them projects to do? So I know that you said this was worth 2 projects when you gave them 10 points. So is there something every day that they do that they get points for, or is it?
Yeah, usually classwork is worth like 5 points. And then if they have to take it home to finish it, I always make that another 5 points. So just whatever they do, like I always say, whatever it takes one day, that's worth 5 points. So since it was like a 2-day project, I made it worth 10 points.
Okay.
Like all first semester was chemistry, so I did a lot of labs. I did like 3 labs a week, whereas I didn't really do any projects. Whereas we're in ecosystems now, so I'm doing 4 different projects within my ecosystem unit. So they're getting more projects. They're working on their second project this week.
Okay.
And I'm giving them Tuesday through Friday to work on it. They're working all week. They're researching like a biome and then finding like producers and consumers within it. So I'm making that one worth 20 points.
You know what? I saw today that the third graders were doing at my school. They invited special guests in to talk about different biomes that they had scuba divers come in and talk about the water biome when they go out and scuba dive. They brought pictures. They brought a PowerPoint with pictures. They brought their equipment. So, and they're going to have hikers come to talk about the desert and mountains. Yeah.
Who did that hookup? Did they know somebody? Or
yeah, the school secretary and her husband are scuba divers. And then a couple of the teachers hike and take pictures when they hike. And I thought, wow, that is way cool.
That would be really cool. Huh.
Yeah. So.
Now, I don't know anybody, but I am doing a fun trip in May. Last year I chaperoned for Catalina. Mm-hmm. It was like a whole trip. And they're at science camp. So that's just, they learn a lot of like ocean biomes.
Yeah, so they're going to get that anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
So was 2 days... Was 2 days enough to complete this project?
I think that it was.
Okay.
If I was doing it next year, I'd also make it 2 days, just because, like I said, like half of them finished within those 2 days, so I don't want to have those students just sitting there having free time. So I think 2 days was sufficient. Okay. And I even have one student. Well, he's really smart. He always finishes super quickly, and he's like the straight A student. He's always like a goody good. He finished his project the very first day, and then he's always so eager to. Well, I noticed he likes getting attention from me, where he wants to finish an assignment really quickly for me to give him that reaction, like, "Oh wow, you're done already! You did such a good job." So then, but he doesn't just finish it to finish it. He like finishes it, and it's like accurate, and it's thorough. So he finished it the very first day. So I just gave him another project to do for extra credit, and he loved it. And then he finished that one in his keyboarding class and elective because he had time there. Yeah, good overachiever. He's so nice. He always, his mom came to back to school night or parent teacher conferences last semester, and I remember him saying he wants to be just like his mom and have a 4.5 grade point average.
Oh.
He has very high expectations. So
well, he might make it.
Very smart too. Yeah, in high school when he takes those AP classes, he probably will.
Yeah. I'm going to turn this off now because I think 10 minutes is enough.